Hey, Pop Rockers, how you going? Paul with you tonight. I just recently sat down with a band from WA and we spoke about their new releases, Emergencies and Hydraulic, two great songs. Now, the band from WA, if you don't know who they were another band and they've rebadged, had a bit of a change up, and they've actually changed their sound. They've gone from a more rock sound to a more synthy sound, but still, I've got to tell you, it is a good sounding. It's changed for the better. The songs are so much better. Emergencies and Hydraulic. Now, the band, you may know them as, or have heard of them in the past as Antenna Ultra. They have had a bit of a change up. The name is Mindful Eyes. I had Adam and Thomas speak with me. You're going to hear from them in a very, very short moment. But as normal, at the end of the interview, we're going to have one of their songs and one of their new songs so you can have a listen to it and enjoy it. So Adam and Thomas coming up very, very shortly. But as before we get there, if you like what we're doing with the Australian music and local music and you want to hear more about more Australian indie music, hit that like and subscribe button down below. But right now, don't forget, like, love, share and follow. See you real soon. Hey Pop Rockers, how you going today? Today we've got Adam and Thomas from the band Mindful Eyes. They're going to be talking to us about their new singles, Emergency and Hydraulic. Adam, Thomas, how are you going?
Good, thanks.
Very well, thanks. Thanks for having us on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Good. It's been a while because I've been collecting your music for the radio station for a few months now. Back before you were Mindful Eyes, that was Antenna Ultra. You had a couple of great songs. We've got them playing. But now Antenna Ultra has seemed to have evolved, changed to Mindful Eyes. I don't know the full story, but you're now Mindful Eyes. You've got two singles out, Emergencies and Hydraulic. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, we had a bit of a personnel change earlier on in the year, and we changed drummers, and now we have a really great drummer called Blake. And so we changed the name because we changed the music a little bit. Still similar kind of influences that we had before, and the name change kind of symbolizes a new direction that we're going in. And I think new singles, Emergencies and Hydraulics, kind of symbolize that change. So you can see more synthesizers coming in. More, I guess, sort of mature song topics, more artistic, somewhat philosophical, existential themes coming through. So we felt that it was maybe the right time to make a change in the band name.
Yep. Now, you guys are based in Perth, WA. Beautiful place. Right. That's where we are. Now, we spoke before. You haven't got any gigs at the moment, but you've got gigs coming up. And you've got the two singles out. More singles on their way? More music coming?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're getting one currently mixed as well. But the idea is we've got a whole bank of songs, so we're just going to be keep on recording them and just keep up that pace, keep releasing.
Who's the creative? Who's the writer? Who's the songwriter?
Well, we really share the load, I guess. I mean, the songwriting process is very different for each of the songs. Sometimes I'll bring in a song, sometimes Thomas will, sometimes we'll just jam and have a particular song. We've all got setups at home, so we can sometimes demo ideas at home and bring them in. So there's really no strict formula. It's very different for different kinds of songs. And it just means all the different band members can, Jesse and Blake, who aren't here, can also put their input in.
Yep.
And I think it keeps all of us kind of on our toes and excited to write the songs. No one person is responsible for it. I think it kind of generates a very artistic and healthy kind of environment.
Yeah. Now, I've asked a lot of people, there's two main questions I ask when we do the interviews. One is, how did you cope in lockdown?
Yeah, it was kind of difficult, right? I mean, we were looking obviously we couldn't play during the time. So that was around the time that Thomas and I first came together to start writing the song. So I guess we used that 6-month period to really just write. And then while lockdown was happening, we couldn't play any songs. So we just built up a library of songs. And we had maybe 10, 15 songs we put together in that time. So for us, it was just about using it in the most productive way we could. And so we really just went back to basics, got acoustic guitars, started writing, and really went from there.
I just noticed I haven't got my hat on. This would be the first interview I've done without my hat.
We brought hats or something?
I'm naked.
Oh, no.
But yeah, with the lockdown and things, what I've noticed with other artists and bands and musicians around is that coming out of lockdown, everyone's releasing music. Are you?
Yeah.
How are you going? Are you struggling getting your music out, or is it you're finding that people are picking up and running with it?
Well, I think, like, even with lockdown, it was really cool because it kind of we put systems in place, like collaborating through applications like GarageBand or whatever. So that kind of, those systems and those processes were kind of set early on because we had to. And because we've, like, when you're collaborating online over a platform like, one of those, you have to be really, I guess, particular with details and processes and everything. So by having all those kind of set up now, even though we can jam and play, in real life, it means that the writing process is going a lot faster, and it means that we're just kind of, I guess, we've got that momentum that's just kind of kept going. So, but like with the reception to our music, I think it's been quite positive, and I think people are excited to hear songs that have come out of such a interesting time.
Yeah. So okay, from that, where did the I'm looking? You got Emergencies and the Hydraulic. The inspiration for those songs. How have they come about?
Well, maybe we can say a few things about Hydraulic. So this was, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but there's a famous artwork that is called Can't Help Myself in the Guggenheim Museum. And it's with this robot that's continually shoveling, if you like, its own hydraulic fluid. It looks like blood, and it's kind of an interesting image. And we started to look at that artwork and tried to have a visual, audible kind of reaction to it. So the song Hydraulic is really our reimagining of the artwork. And it's really a conversation between, say, the creator. There's actually two artists that are responsible for the piece, and the robot itself. And so we're looking at some existential kind of themes there. And interestingly, this is the first song that we've done where Thomas and I kind of share the lead vocals. So I do the chorus and Thomas does the verse. And the verse is really, and the chorus are really a conversation between creator and this robotic kind of artwork. So it's for us, we'd never done anything like that before, and so we took inspiration from this artwork, which is very moving and very powerful. And then we tried to imagine what a song about that would sound like. And it's almost this very anthemic, but also ethereal kind of thing. And it was the first time we took an artwork and tried to imagine what a song would sound like about that. So
I did notice a difference in the sound from before Antenna Ultra to now. You can really hear a difference in the sound. Like you said, there's more synth, where Antenna Ultra is a bit more rock based.
Yeah.
So, what about Emergencies? That's been out for a little while now, a couple of weeks, hasn't it? Was that the first one you released, Emergencies, and then?
Yeah, that was the first one, and I think it was a deliberate choice because tone-wise, sonically is very different to Antenna Ultra, so it was less raw kind of guitars and very subdued, but then it had the synths and it really built as well. So it was really, we wanted to release that one first to say, look, this is a different band. There are influences from early on, but it was very moody, and we wanted to really create more atmospheric kind of music, and I think that hopefully that song gives a bit of an idea about some of the other songs to come.
Yeah, well, we can sense the shift, and not taking away from anything from the previous music, because we play it still on pop rock radio, it still gets circulated there. It is a lot different to what we used to, and it is, quite entertaining. I was actually surprised when I listened to it, going, okay, I was used to the rock, and then I heard the synths, and like, but this is not bad at all. It's good. It's good music. So maybe we should start shifting the conversation away from Antenna Ultra, because they're the old band, they're gone, and we've got Mindful Eyes. How did you come up with the name Mindful Eyes?
I think it was just kind of, we were just trying to think of, I guess, the direction, the sound that we were kind of going to go for, and we wanted that kind of, I guess, bit of an introspective kind of, I don't know, kind of that style with, I guess, the synths kind of overlaying kind of a smoothness to the sound. But so kind of a combination of like the sound of the words, the meaning of, you know, what it is. But it kind of, once we kind of came to agreements on the title, I guess we all kind of felt that that was right.
Yeah, because I was talking to Jacob Lee a couple of days ago, and one of the themes that he brought up was being mindful of different things. And so when I saw the name Mindful Eyes, I thought, oh, here we go. There's a bit of a theme building up now within artists, that people are becoming more mindful, a bit more thoughtful about what's happening around them.
Yeah, there was a real, also the expression, the mind's eye, to look inside and look at one's mind, is something that's very introspective. And maybe some of these new songs have more of that introspective element than previously. So there was definitely a deliberate kind of move towards that. But I think you're right, maybe after the pandemic, people are more mindful of things and more aware of things and questioning things. And one of those things might be to question oneself. So mindful eyes is that introspective sort of gaze that we've been, I think a lot of the songs have this kind of introspective element to them.
I've just done a quick wardrobe
change.
The shine on my head with the shine from the light was like putting me off. Like, oh no.
You told us we would have brought our own hats.
Do you know, a couple of years ago, back in 2004, there's a little segue, a bit of a change here. There was a guy, Joel Turner and the Modern Day Poets, the beatboxer from Australian Idol.
Turner, yeah.
We did an interview with him about 2 weeks ago, and we were saying, because he got a new song called Mullet, and we've mentioned about the mullets. I said, I can't grow a mullet anymore because of my hair, you know. And he's taken his hat off, said, neither of my hair's like shiny as. It was crazy.
Joel Turner, was he on, I forget, it was on one of those reality shows.
Australian Idol. Australian Idol, yeah.
Right.
Joel Turner,
yeah. He was the beatboxer.
Yeah,
and
it's massive.
Yeah, I'm going to have the hat on. Have the hat on because the lights are shining and reflected. It's like,
have to check it out.
Yeah. So whereabouts in Perth are you guys? Are you spread out, or are you north, south?
Yeah, all really spread out. So South Perth, the hills.
Yeah.
I'm based in
Fremantle.
No, because I was like, talking, like, so I've been doing a few conversations with people, and I'll tell you what, WA is full of a lot of creative people from everywhere. I'm down in Rockingham Way, and we've got bands down here, and you guys are obviously spread out. Now, what I'm leading to is, what do you think? Well, I can't really. It's going to be hard to answer because haven't got any gigs planned. But I was leading to, what do you think of the nightlife and the scene in WA? What do you think of for bands and things? Do you think it's opening up, contracting? What do you reckon?
That's a tough question. I think there's a lot of bands that play that people just aren't aware of. I think we've got some incredible talent here, and I guess because Perth is quite spread out and WA is quite spread out, people have to maybe just try a little bit harder to get to these places, or they have to be more proactive. So if it was a smaller, sorry, let me rephrase that. A city that is, the urban sprawl was, I don't know, compact, like Melbourne or Sydney or something. You can walk down the street and walk past like 3 venues kind of thing. I think the people that go to shows here are very passionate about the music. And I think the bands have to kind of do something really special, almost like push the envelope to attract those people as well.
Yeah, because I noticed my background musically wise is DJ work, and I was DJing years and years and years ago. And where we are in Rockingham, there used to be a number of clubs you could DJ at. There was, I can count at least 3 within semi-walking distance. 2 are close together, one was a bit further out. But now I was thinking just recently that there's nowhere for, let's say, a DJ to hone his craft. There's no nightclubs in Rockingham anymore. You've got to go to Fremantle or Perth. And thank you to the political parties that for anyone from Rockingham want to go to Fremantle, you've got to go Perth, Fremantle. And so it doesn't make sense to go out. And then when you think of a venue where you can go see a live act, they don't exist in most places anymore. There's only certain places where they exist, and people aren't, I find myself, aren't willing to travel that to go see the band.
Yeah.
I mean, they maybe don't happen with enough regularity. I mean, there are like some great promoters. Big Tomo Presents is one that we've used in the past before, and he's really great. Tom Mantle putting on shows, and places like Convenience and other places around town are really good. But perhaps because they're not happening all the time, maybe people aren't aware of them. It's easy for them to kind of go by the wayside kind of thing. So, but there, like Thomas mentioned, there are those loyal, I mean, there are a lot of really great musicians and a lot of people that are very loyal to the scene that do kind of see it. But I think there is a lot of interest out there, and maybe it just takes a couple small pieces for that all to sort of come together and people to start going to those gigs.
Yeah, well, I hope so, because the live scene is pretty good. I remember back in the 80s when we were getting around, I remember going and seeing bands like the Cockroaches who are now the Wiggles, you know, Born Slippery and Underworld and things like that. And we go to the clubs, and I grew up in New South Wales, so in Sydney, when you went out in Sydney, you could go from bar to bar to bar. You see the Radiators, the Angels. It was just a great mix of bands, but it just seems to have... I feel like I must be getting old because it's... you know, it doesn't seem to exist anymore. I'm fagging to go see a good band.
Well, I think it's just changed a bit, but because there are still good bands and great gigs out there, I think maybe there's less of them. But when there is like a special band or when there is an event, I think there's more emphasis on that event now. So it's just kind of a bigger deal to go out to see maybe, you know, these great bands. So I think it is just changing. But what you were mentioning about the DJing as well. So we were rehearsing at the Hen House. We still do. And there's DJs there now that actually they rent out a rehearsal room and then they live stream their set just DJing in that room. And because of the internet, basically, they can stream that all around the world. And then you've just got all these people just listening to this set just through their computer. So it's just, I think it's changing. But it will always be there. Live music is there's always going to be the audience for it.
Yep. So how do people find you in the modern era? We have Spotify, we have SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter. Are you guys active on social media? Where can people get hold of you guys?
We have a Facebook account, but we also have our music on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. We've just started to get some lyric videos for our songs as well. So if people like to check out the songs and maybe look into a bit deeper in the videos, they can check that out on YouTube as well. So, but if you go to our Facebook page, we have links to all the different social media sites out there as well.
Do you do anything? Do you do anything outside? Like I've spoken to a couple of people, and they say they're getting into NFTs and things for their bands. You do any of that stuff?
It's interesting. We haven't. We're interested in NFTs, but we've never thought about putting any. It's maybe something for the future of Mindful Eyes, but
Cav Template from Eskimo Joe's released a couple of solo tracks recently, a solo album, his second solo album, and he was saying he created a song. I won't go into too much detail of it, but he recorded it in 7 different ways or a couple of different ways, and that's how he's created his NFT, so that person can buy that NFT, and that song is unique to that NFT. And recorded in a certain key. It's the same song, but just in a different key. And because musicians now and entertainers, because of Spotify and things like that, need to find other creative ways of generating that income. Because at the end of the day, if you don't make money, you can't create stuff. No matter how creative you are, you guys need to make money to be able to survive.
Right. I mean, of course, to have better quality recordings, it's all really spending more time, and to be able to do that, you need money. And NFTs are interesting. it's going to be fascinating to watch if they start to, because if you think about it, if you have an NFT, you don't really, it's hard to say what you own, right? Because it's not the, it's almost like owning the bragging rights. And
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how long people are interested in that. Maybe eventually people will lose interest, but on the other hand, it could turn out to be very valuable. So it's one of those things, right? I think it's hard because it's not like buying the Mona Lisa. If you buy it, you have it, and if people want to see it, they have to go to your house, kind of thing. But with an NFT, it's not clear what you have apart from bragging rights. Which I guess
what about vinyl? Are we going to see any vinyl?
Really interesting. We'd love to. Yeah, we'd love to put some stuff out on vinyl. Yeah.
I'll see if I can grab it. Just hold on 2 seconds. There goes a light. This is a bit of a plug. You can buy these off our website. We've got a link. But I got this great little record player in a case.
Oh yeah,
nice.
And it cost me, literally cost less than $100. And I've got a couple of vinyls. I've been going out and I've been collecting the vinyls, and it sounds as dirty and as horrible as what vinyl can sound, and it sounds so good.
I love that. The clicking of the needle, the static, just adds to the whole thing, right?
Yeah, because I'm pushing that. We push that on our website. Get the vinyls. If we're talking to someone like we spoke to Cav from Eskimo Joe, we've spoken to a few other bands that we know that they've got vinyls out there. So we push their vinyl sales, and obviously with links down below the videos, people can go and do it. So when you get your vinyls going and you get your NFTs, give us the links, we'll add them.
For sure. These two singles were actually recorded analog at Poonset. We did some recording ourselves, but had them mixed there. So it would be really cool to have those on vinyl to really complete the analog process.
Oh, analog people nowadays, when they hear like the Dolby 7.20,000 surround sound channels or whatever, they go, "Oh, it sounds really good." But when you listen to music recorded in analog, played on an analog machine, it sounds so much better. It's just raw.
Just got that.
I think that's raw.
Yeah. Well, both those songs were recorded. Used the analog equipment at Poonset, and so it was a really cool experience for us to use some of the. Rob down there has some compressors from like the 1960s, and there's some equipment from say the 1930s. So there's some really great vintage gear. So
some valve compressors going.
All sorts of crazy stuff. So I think it'd be awesome to have that on vinyl. Yeah.
You could probably resample some of the hum from the valves and things and get that into a song.
Yeah.
I need some rights now from writing or credits for telling you about that.
Some ideas, of course, we'll put you on.
Well, guys, hey, we can start winding up because we're getting pretty much to the part where YouTube hate going over, but it's been great having you on board and having a chat. Hydraulic and Emergencies are the latest two CDs, singles. We're going to get people to have a listen to them. We'll put the links down below for them, and we'll follow up at the end of our video. We normally follow up with a video from you guys, so we'll find something to put at the end for people to listen to. Great chatting. It's really good to speak to artists firsthand and see what they're going through, how things are going, how they're created. So thanks for taking your time out your day and joining us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for having us.
And we also plug, we have a new single called Stereoscope coming out in a couple, like Thomas was mentioning before, about 2.5 weeks. So check that out. And then we'll have another one coming out a few weeks after that. So if people are liking Hydraulic and Emergencies, they can follow us on social media. And
keep us in touch, because we'll push it out there. We'll put it on our social media, because we do that. If we get news of a song come out, we add it to our Facebook and Twitter. We send it out and get people to listen. So the more the merrier. Just keep it coming.
Thanks so much for everything so much. Really appreciate it.
Take care. Thank you.
dark and the air is thick. I don't have a hand left to tie this cord. Distance made but not in hate. Prospects out with no prospects made. I see the end and it's kept in time. Now all the days and
As we go our separate ways, with all the years we can acquire, we'll forget the mistakes that they're supplying. Oh, until you bleed, you're not gonna make it last forever. The eyes are wide awake, but not for you. But not for you.
Voyeurs point their eyes at me. A free show, won't you come, won't you see? Calling out, but the signals bleed. Won't you teach me all your ways? Sleep for months, now wake in a day. I saw the end, it was kept in time. Now all the days and
As we go our separate ways, with all the years we can acquire, we'll forget the mistakes that they're supplying. Oh, till you bleed, you're not gonna make it last forever. The eyes are wide awake, but not for you. But not for you. Though there's no stepping back from that moment in time, hear the light sitting in the shadows, gently whispering one line.